Hey guys, this is Tal from Apocalypse, and this episode is all about the quest board for resources. I can hear you already saying, hey Tal, give me something useful. I've been doing the quest board for about a month now. I know what I'm doing. But guys, if you go into the quest board and you actually have a look at the resources available and not just the XP books, you'll see that it's actually a really awesome source for resources other than just XP. I mean, everybody knows you do the quest board, you unlock all the books, and it's the fastest way to level your heroes. That's awesome, and everybody already knows that. And if you don't, guys, do your quest board. It is by far the most important feature that you need to do every day. So if you've only got a short period of time that you can spend in game, quest board is where you want to be spending your time. So in this episode, guys, we're going to work through my quest board together so that while I'm playing, I can just ramble on about anything that I can think of that might actually help, or something that you might not have picked up on. If you're new to the game, this is going to give you a great expose to the quest board. If you've been playing for a while, like I said, I hope that I'm able to mention something small that actually helps you out with your gameplay. If not, well, I hope you have fun watching. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to have a look at what is available to us in this quest board. And I know you're saying right now, Tal, you're nearly 40k, you've got way more quest tiles than I have. Okay, so that's a good point. So every 5,000 you unlock a new quest, and this increases the rewards you get. So it's another argument for having a high might account. But I think high might versus low might be another episode. Guys, here are the rewards for this quest board, and we're talking about 3,000 honor badges, 430,000 gold, 117,000 mana. We're going to get 326 shards equivalent because we're going to get a purple slime, which you would normally spend 150 shards. I've made a mistake. Boo! Okay, it's obviously early and I need more coffee. So we'll amend that. It's really going to be 326 minus 150. Come on, guys. 176 shards, 25 gems, and 270,000 XP. That's crazy good. Okay. So the main thing I wanted to emphasize, guys, is that the quest board is an awesome place to get lots of resources, which we really need now with the drop-in torch rewards. So the first thing you want to do is have a look at the troops you need to build. Get them building straight away, guys, while you're thinking about everything else that you want to do. I had to build dragons. I keep my army camps empty in the lead up to the cooldown coming off for quest board so that I can build the troops I need without wasting troops. So I had to build dragons. Quest complete, purple slime. Guys, purple slime normally costs 150 shards. We also got nearly 1,000 honor badges. Now, challenger boss pops up. I'm going to shortcut this, pay the 20 gems. I'm not going to wait 12 hours. There's another 8 shards. Okay, this is another one I normally skip. Raid victories. It takes time, and I want to get the quest board done as quickly as possible. If the longer this drags out, the more likely it is you won't get it finished. But there's other quests that I need to do in a raid, so I'll leave that till later. Now here's Hero Shrine. I've got to hire a slime. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to have a look at my hero altar. I don't have enough shards, guys, to buy a purple slime. Just buy the 5 shard slime. Buy the green one. It costs 5 shards and you complete the quest. I focus on getting this done as quickly as I can. So that's another quest complete, and you'll see the gold question mark there reminding you that you've got quest to redeem. So there's another 25 gems. So guys, we're not going to skip the raid quest yet. Not just yet, okay? It's going to cost 50 gems, and we don't want to spend 50 gems if we can get away with it. We've got other quests to do in raids, so we're going to wait and see how that works out. Mana vaults or any buildings in a raid that you need to destroy, you can do it in expedition. Unfortunately, I'm out, so that's not going to happen. We always do dungeons first, guys, and rather than go in and actually do the dungeon that you're up to, choose a dungeon that you can farm with no chance of losing heroes. I choose Dungeon 4 Elite 2, okay? It gives a chance of 15 shards, and I know I'm not going to lose any heroes here. Well, how wrong can you be, guys? Here I am. This is the third dungeon of the 3 attempts that I needed to complete for the quest board dungeon component, and I lost my pumpkin duke on the second dungeon. It happens. There's no such thing as a safe dungeon. There's just probability, and that's that element of randomness that I've spoken about before. There's no guarantees. But here I am in a dungeon which I should get through more often than not without losing a hero. But as I mentioned, I lost PD, and we're back in the dungeon here. We're running 5. But remember, you don't have to run Dungeon 4 Elite 2, you can go back to Dungeon 1 Elite 1. There's no reason why you should do a higher level dungeon. You just want to do something that you think realistically you'll get through 9 out of 10 times without losing a hero, because what you're trying to do is you're really trying to avoid having to wait for a hero to respawn. So if you can afford to lose a hero and you've got someone else you can bring in and continue working your way through the quests, then absolutely go for a harder dungeon. I chose this because I want the opportunity of getting the extra 15 shards. Back in Torch days, 15 shards wasn't worth wasting your time trying to get, but now the shards matter again. So, here we are, we're doing a dungeon for the quest board, but with the aim of hopefully picking up some bonus shards along the way. And guys, another shameless plug, but please do subscribe, because I am going to put together another YouTube in the next couple of weeks, hopefully the next couple of days, on running dungeons as well, which will be really awesome. So guys, it's time to tackle the raid component of the quest board, which is often the hardest if you're running a high might account. But let's go in and collect our rewards, and we've got mana vaults and gold to collect. Now, make sure when you go into your raids that you know what you're raiding for. Even if you're not doing quest board, have a goal before you go in. It's a whole lot easier to keep your heroes alive, in my humble opinion. So I actually got this mixed up. I went in thinking I needed gold vaults and mana. So like I said, make sure you know what you're going in for. So into our first raid here, we see that it's actually a really good raid for us. There's plenty of gold, there's a bit of mana to grab as well. Now, I identify quickly that the bulk of the gold on this map is probably going to be in that gold vault on the cursor. And there's also some mana mills along the bottom of the base as well around the perimeter. So I'm hoping I can take out both of those. And like I said earlier, I'm not the best raider. I like to hit and run unless there's a glaring weakness in a base that I can exploit. But I drop in Druid and Spirit Mage, and I'm hoping they're going to work their way along the bottom and take out those mana mills. I drop Immortep in because his proc will reach across the walls. And I'm hoping that if I get the timing right, his proc will destroy the gold vault. He's about to proc now, and it reaches across and destroys the gold vault. So Spirit Mage is going off in the wrong direction. Immortep has aggroed on the tower. He's going to run into the base, so I end the battle. Okay, so 82k and 125k. So that's a good return. No one's dead, and we can move into the next raid. Now the next raid, guys, is not as successful, and I could have easily edited this out, but I want you to see that I don't get it right either. But there is something to get out of this raid anyway. So I have a look at the raid, and I see that there's mana vaults just on the outside there. And I could have used the same strategy using the Immortep, but again, you have to time it so that he's proccing on his way in or it won't work, and it would be a suicide mission. So here, because my mana's high and mana's easy to get, and I'm chasing mana vaults, guys, so I'm going to have easily capped my mana in no time whatsoever, I'm happy to throw away my dragons. They're easy to replace, and I've always got lots of mana. So I drop the Druid and the Spirit Mage in down the bottom, and I'm hoping they're going to work their way along the bottom perimeter of the base and take out those 2 gold mines. The dragons, I was hoping, would penetrate the base and maybe make it to at least 1 or 2 of those mana vaults. That'd give me a heap of mana to buy more dragons. But of course, most importantly, that we would get another 2 vaults toward the quest board. But unfortunately, it didn't work out. The dragons took off in the wrong direction, and that's just the way that raiding works, guys. So you have to expect that the unexpected will happen, adjust accordingly, and in this case, the only adjustment I could make was to end the battle, and We lost some dragons, but the most important thing here is that we didn't lose any heroes, so we did salvage something, so we can move into another raid. Now, I've done a couple of raids. I was lucky enough to complete one successfully, and we're checking our progress. So we've still got some vaults that we need to take out, and we still need a little bit of gold, but we're over halfway. Keep checking, because you don't want to be going into raids and risking those heroes unnecessarily. So here's another base. Now I see a vulnerability. Here, this player, Great Maximus, he doesn't have any troops out. I get excited every time I see this, because troopless bases are absolutely awesome for Spirit Mage. So I drop Druid and Spirit Mage up the top. There's no troops there. Spirit Mage is going to proc his magic missiles, and the only target that he will hit will be the heroes in the middle. Here goes the proc, and you can see that he's nearly killed all of the heroes with one proc. Now he's heading in. I don't normally use spells in my raids, guys, but this time around I've dropped a restoration to keep the Spirit Mage alive, because I realised that if he procced again, that he would kill all the heroes, and that this raid would be a complete 100% clear with 2 heroes. And it worked perfectly. Spirit Mage procced, killed all the heroes, the Druid went around, and he's now gone into the base, and the only thing that they have to contend with is the arrow towers. But once again, I noticed at the start of the raid that there were no troops, but more importantly, or just as importantly, the towers were not garrisoned. So my heroes are capable of, or my druids capable of healing through an ungarrisoned tower, as most of your druids will be capable of doing as well. So as soon as I realised this, I knew that there was a very high chance that we'd get through it. Now, I've dropped Ares in the top right, the top right corner of the base there. There's no need for me to do this, but I'm actually trying to level Ares up, and so it's a little bit of free XP. Of course, you can just drop any hero you like in at this stage, but remember that the more heroes you drop in, the less XP they get each. So rather than getting a little bit of XP for the Druid and the Spirit Mage, at 105, Ares is going to enjoy this little bit of XP here. So the XP will be divided 3 ways now. Ares gets a little bit of bonus XP, and we get another raid completion toward the quest board, which takes us to 2 out of 4. Of course, because we've got a complete clear, we also got a few mana vaults and some extra gold toward our quest board. So we're getting close to finishing it now, guys. 56,000 gold, 458,000 mana, and that's the mana that we were talking about earlier, and our only loss was the restoration spell. Guys, I definitely didn't want to make this episode about running dungeons or raiding or running Here Be Monsters or any of the other features, but the hero quest board actually encompasses all of those elements. But I do intend on making YouTube episodes on all of them, so we're going to have a lot of fun. Now, this is the next raid, and here again is my Immortep strategy. I see that there's a gold vault that's overflowing with gold, and we still need gold to complete the quest board. So here I go. I drop my Spirit Mage and Druid like always, and I drop Immortep in, and I'm hoping that he's going to proc, and the proc is going to reach across the wall. So here goes. He's procking now. He takes out the troops in the army camp. He starts going toward the base, and there it is. End battle. Easy 112,000 gold. So that is using that Immortep proc across the wall again. So that's twice I've been able to take advantage of his ability. So we're nearly there now. We've redeemed 22 books. We've still got to do some more raiding. Now, what's challenging here, again, because I've got a high might account, is that I've got to do another 2 more successful raids. Now, this is another base that we're coming up to here that is absolutely perfect for Spirit Mage. So I have a look at the base. I see all the buildings are laid out in a Here Be Monsters configuration. It's definitely not the way you want to set your base up to protect your resources. This is a configuration that would be perfect for hero trials. Actually, not even hero trials, would be great for Here Be Monsters to make sure you don't get any of those archers stuck on a building. But here I go. I haven't even dropped in the Druid to heal up the Spirit Mage, because I'm hoping that he's going to proc those dragons away. Now, More importantly is if I drop the druid in, the druid's going to start damaging those buildings as well, and that's going to slow the procs down of the spirit mage. So we drop the spirit mage in, he takes the buildings out solo, it gives him 2 procs, and you can see there that that army camp now has 2 dragons, and he's able to handle 2 dragons. So he moves in. Now you can see at the same time his magic missiles are flying down the bottom of the screen to the other 2 army camps, and he's taking out those dragons as well. So now his proc has removed all the troops, and now his procs will focus on the heroes, and there'll be nothing but weak towers to take out, and that will be another complete clear. So 1 hero will take out this entire base. Here's another proc. It's going to what? Oh no, the worst thing in the world has happened. Yes, the targets come online. So maybe I was a little bit cocky and I should have dropped in my other heroes while I had a chance. But guys, this happens and it's awful. But it's more resources toward the quest log. So the second last task that we need to complete the quest board is our raid. So we need 100% completion on a raid. I look at this and I see 4 towers. It's a good setup. The towers are garrisoned, so I decide that I'm going to steal some gold here from this gold vault and just top it up. There you go, and end battle. Didn't want to lose any heroes. Those towers are hitting hard and they had range garrisons. So we go into the next base, and this one proves to be a little bit more achievable. The first thing that you'll notice when it does pop up is that the towers aren't garrisoned. So that's something to keep in mind, guys. If you want to do well in defending your raids, it's all about base selection. And people are less likely to attack your base if you have full garrisons. So I see this base here. It's a double diamond, and I see that they've got griffins. And so I drop right in. I'm happy to pull all 2 army camps full of griffins, and I also want to head straight into their base. My team split, which is not ideal, but I chose this base because there were only 4 towers instead of 5, and at my might level, try and say that fast, I normally get 5 tower bases. Also, the heroes are between 110 and 120, so I was prepared to take the risk here. I moved all in, I've put all my heroes in, I've also dropped troops, which I don't normally do, but again, I need this completion to finish my quest board, and if I don't make a move, I'm going to end up losing my heroes, and I'll be here all day trying to complete a raid. So I've taken a chance. This was the right selection. And obviously I've cleared the towers and the heroes. Haven't lost any heroes. I may have lost some dragons, but we'll wait and see. But this is a 100% completion. So I've got some resources, but more importantly, I've completed the raid with 100% completion success, and I get the tick in the box for the quest board. So there you go, I lost 3 dragons. What you might have missed at the start is I tried to drop the spell Ari's Favor, which is expensive, and because of my lag I didn't even benefit from it, so I'm a little bit disappointed. But there it is, raid victory. We complete the quest board. The last thing you do here, guys, is hero trials or Here Be Monsters. The reason why we leave Hero Trials and Here Be Monsters to the end is because you can actually enter both of these features with dead heroes. Okay, so you don't need to wait for your heroes to respawn, so we always leave it to the end. So we're going to go into Hero Trials here, and we're going to do level 12 because I've unlocked them all and it's fun, and I'm trying to get the highest rewards I can. And I don't mind if I don't succeed. So we're going to Hero Trials to complete our quest board. Now guys, I will be making YouTubes on Hero Trials, and I'll also do the same thing for Here Be Monsters. So please subscribe and you will find out when I've done that. Now I've got Snowzilla on Hero Trials, so here they come. Unfortunately, guys, I've got troops out on my bases. It certainly isn't part of my strategy. It just so happens that I had them out from when I was when I was building dragons earlier for my raiding. So as it stands, they get wiped out very quickly, and it's a big waste of mana. So that's why I don't use that strategy. But as they start to approach, most of my towers are level 10 now, guys, or they're about to be. I think 2 are level 9 on their way to level 10 now. But My heroes seem to be coping pretty well. I have completed Snowzilla once before, and this is looking fairly promising. But as you can see, at level 12, they're level 250, which is just crazy to comprehend. And there's lots of them. Imhotep's procced, and I'm running my Ares at 105. But most of the bottom Snowzillas are actually cleared. All my towers are standing, and this is looking really promising. Imhotep's procced again, and fair to say that unless we have a crazy snowstorm, which we don't, we've completed this successfully. So Snowzillas are gone, and level 12 Snowzilla is complete. We get 1,200 honor badges. So guys, that's how you complete the quest board. We've completed the final element, so we'll go back into the quest board. You'll see the yellow question mark reminds us that we have rewards to collect. We redeem our 10 shards, we redeem our XP books, and now we get a time bonus reward, which was 36 shards. The faster you do it, the better the reward. Now, quest board, 8-hour cooldown, guys, so we have to sit tight and wait 8 hours until the next quest board is available. So when I started this episode, guys, I certainly didn't intend for it to be a 20-minute episode, but we've gone over all the aspects, and I wanted to let you guys know that there are some serious resource bonuses from doing the quest board other than just XP. So at the start, we talked about what we might get based on the rewards alone for the quest board, but we also got some bonus resources as well. We got 3,000 honor badges, but we also got a bonus 1,200 for completing a hero trial. So that's variable. Now, we also got about 500k extra gold on top of our rewards from raiding, but we spent 6k on that restoration spell. Now, there was also an extra 900k mana that we got from raiding, so there's over 1 million in mana. Of course, we did spend some on dragons, but that was optional, and we really didn't need to do that. So now there was also some bonus shards for the time bonus for completing the quest board in time. You're not always going to get those, guys, but be aware they are there. Now, we also spent 5 shards on a slime, so we'll take that into account because it was a quest. But of course, you benefit by consuming the slime and upgrading your heroes. Now, we did use a speed up because we weren't prepared to wait 12 hours for the boss fight. So while we got 25 gems, we lost 20, but we also got a bonus 10 for stealing all that mana in our ratings. So we got a bonus 10 as an achievement, and we also got an extra 5 for doing our 10 arenas, which I did in between filming segments. So we're not going to include the arena gems there, but we did come out with some extra gems, but it's certainly not a massive amount. But of course, 270,000 XP. That's why we're here. But obviously, when you have a look at the list there are a heap of other resources that we get by doing our quest board. So guys, make sure you do your quest board twice a day. I do it in the morning, and then I do it again at night time. You know, there's 8-hour cooldown, but when you sit down and you have some sort of a system to get it done, it doesn't take all that long. I can't say how long this one took because I was filming segments and doing commentary, but it's certainly something that you can get quick at, and it's worth doing every day. So guys, as I said earlier, please subscribe to my channel so that you're notified as soon as I make anything that might be useful and fun. I hope they are. Leave comments, give me a thumbs up, let me know either through YouTube or on the Facebook page if there are any subjects or anything in-game that you'd like me to cover in detail, or if you have any questions. So again, thanks for watching, and until next time, be good and play well.